Hello, everyone, and welcome to your astrological forecast for the upcoming full moon in Scorpio on May the 18th. So if you're new to me, welcome. My name is Kara Melendi, and I'm passionate about helping you co-create magic with the universe. So we have a really powerful full moon coming up in the intense, passionate sign of Scorpio, and I find Scorpio is one of those zodiac signs that really stands out and sometimes gets a bad reputation as well, because in the shadow side it can be this very like controlling energy, right, or jealous energy, but in its highest octave it has so much power, so much beauty, true beauty, to go to the depths of human emotion, to fully like look at the darker side of things and transform that into something beautiful, truly integrate that. It's so powerful. So I really want to take a deep dive and look at the Scorpio energy today, since as a full moon, that's really the highlight. So say hi as you join. Hello, Tony, Lamorla, Kelly, welcome, and Rebecca, Gail. So share with me below, what are you releasing? What are you letting go of in this powerful full moon energy? Full moons, regardless of the zodiac sign it is in, it is that invitation from the universe to really release, to receive. And I know right now, like with these cosmic themes, these energies, relationships are a huge focus for so many people. So many readings I've done, people have been saying how they have been letting go of all these relationships in their life, like old connections just falling away. And whether it's like relationship theme for you, or maybe like an old pattern of thought, an old habit, trust that as you let go of this old energy, you actually have space for new energy to flow in. And that's just the way the universe works, right? It's even like, we hear that, right? With habits as well. When we release a habit or we let go of a certain behavior, we then need to fill that space. So see the full moon as that energetic sign to let go of the old so you can fully step into the new. And especially with Scorpio energy, it's like this inner transformation is unfolding within you. It's so powerful. So say hi as you are here. Hi, Kensel. Hello, beautiful. Kensel, I'm releasing heartbreak from and Scorpio from the past. Oh, sending love, sending so much love to you. So yeah, it's so interesting. I was actually doing a reading last night for someone, and we were talking about the Scorpio energy and how someone, like, again, the shadow of Scorpio can be like this controlling, jealous energy. But the reason I said, I even mentioned this in the title, like channeling your inner goddess Kali, because with this Scorpio energy we're working with, like when we have the courage and the power to dive deep, to look beyond the facade of things, to look beyond the surface and go to the core, there is so much beauty there. There's confidence and courage that it takes to do that. And I always associate Scorpio energy with the goddess Kali. And it's like on the surface, right? If you've ever seen images of this goddess, she looks kind of scary, right? Like she looks scary, she looks intimidating. But there's this beauty and power to her because she has the ability to go to those depths, look at the shadow, look at the parts that might not be so pretty, and integrate that into like this view of the self, integrate the shadow, integrate the light. It's like fully embracing all that life has to offer us, embracing all of it and seeing beauty in all of it. So we are working with these themes at the full moon. And that is regardless of whether you are a Scorpio or not. And that's so important to remember with astrology. It's like each of these zodiac signs, they're all energies, they're all archetypes that are within us somewhere. So within your birth chart, you have Scorpio energy, and it may be a strong focus for you, or it may not be as much. But when we have these full moons, like the full moon in Scorpio, we're all kind of immersed in this energy. And for some of us, it can be uncomfortable to dive a little bit deeper. It can be uncomfortable to look at some of that, the shadow, and it can be uncomfortable to maybe feel some of the emotions that are already coming up for you. But trust that as you have the power to do that, that's where true transformation can take place in your life, when you have the courage to do that. So we're all kind of working with that. Okay, so let me see some of these questions here. Hello, Rita, welcome. And you're the Scorpio. Oh, I love it. My fellow water sign, the Scorpio. Nancy, yes, you're here on time. Welcome, beautiful. And Payal and Lisa, Mary, hello. So share with me, what are you releasing in this full moon energy? I will hold that loving space for you. Lisa has Scorpio in her 4th house. Powerful. The house of home and like your core inner belief system. So a lot of the themes coming up this week as well. We really just have an interesting week in the cosmos overall, and it's like all kind of building up to this powerful full moon. So it is about the emotional depth. It is about transformation, but opposite the moon in Scorpio, we have the sun in Taurus, and that's really helping us to ground it all out. We also have Mercury, the communication planet, opposite the moon in Scorpio in the sign of Taurus as well. So there really is this grounding element that's coming in, and that is so important because I think for so many people right now, we're also experiencing an up level or a spiritual awakening, or like our intuitive gifts are going to a whole new level. Like we're feeling this within us. We're feeling our vibration and our energy shift. And it's so important that we ground that energy, like that we ground the messages that we're receiving from the divine, that we ground the changes that we're making in our life. And Taurus energy reminds us to do that. So while we have like this Scorpio moon that's intense and it's about going deep, it's about connecting to your emotions, looking beyond the surface. And that's really important too. And that takes courage, right? To just look beyond what's happening at the surface and get to the root of things. But it's where that change occurs. And then this Taurus energy, it will help us ground. It'll help us ground the lessons that are coming through. It'll help you embody the lessons. And it takes maybe some of the intensity away as well. Because the sun in Taurus, we are in Taurus season. It is about enjoying the beauty, the pleasures of our world. And Venus really is a big focus this week as well. And it's like, enjoy your earthly experience. You're here to enjoy the beauty of the world. You're here to enjoy the pleasures of the world and to not deny yourself that. And we're able to more easily expand into that feeling of joy and pleasure when we are willing to do the deeper shadow work. And that's where the Scorpio moon comes in. Because it's like the more that we are, that we have experienced maybe some of the pain or trauma, on the other side of that is joy, is expansion, is the light. So it's like these opposite emotions. So in order for us to fully step into like this Taurian energy of joy, of pleasure, and like full kind of like that happy feeling, basically, right? That feeling of happiness, we have to be willing to do the other work. We have to be willing to look at some of the things that we push down. And that's the theme really coming in around the Scorpio moon that you may already be feeling. Let me know if you're already feeling this, like this major transformation, maybe some of the shadow stuff coming up. And at the same time, it's like this invitation from the universe to step into more joy, to step into like more happiness and just fully enjoy the earthly experience. So it's so interesting we have this dynamic at play between the Scorpio and the Taurus, but how they actually work together beautifully, right? It's like the more willing we can be to integrate the shadow and look at some of the deeper emotions and embrace that with love, like without judgment, then on the other side of that, we can really expand into the joy and pleasure. Rebecca is releasing self-doubt. Love that. Michelle has Scorpio rising. Hi, Brittany. I'm ready to come out of this energy, ready for the rebirth now. Yeah, I hear ya. Ready for the other side of it, because Scorpio is that death, that birth, that transformation. Yeah. Rise up. And you know what? The full moon energies, it will help you do that. Like, I really feel it is like, and that's where the Taurus energy is going to kind of anchor us in. It's like we want to look at the shadow. We want to look at integrate all that, but we don't want to get lost there. We don't want to get locked into that vibration, right? So we want to integrate it without judgment. We want to look at it with love, but then we also want to rise up. So that is an important part too. And Jennifer is a Cancer sun like me. Yes. Scorpio rising and Gemini moon. What a beautiful balance that is. Nancy, so many don't know that Scorpio represents the feminine sexual energy, but Aries represents the male sexual energy. Yes. Oh, I love that. Yeah, it does. It's a powerful force, and it's ruled by the planet Pluto of power, of transformation. And this is where a lot of like karmic themes may be coming in now as well, because Pluto is retrograding in the sign of Capricorn right now. So for many people, these karmic themes are showing up in the way of like relationships, where it's like soul contracts have been coming to an end. New relationships may be coming in. Like what I'm finding for a lot of people, it's kind of having these connections, and it's not just romantic. This can be romantic, this can be in business, but it's like you're meeting somebody through like an avenue that you never expected. Like it's kind of an unexpected thing, but you're like, oh, it makes sense that I connected with this person because that led me to this other person, or I was meant to be at this event because it connected me to this person. And it's just a really cool feeling, like almost karmic in nature. We were meant to connect, we were meant to be together, and we have something to share with one another or to create together. So that's really strong right now as well. So really looking at that. And also with Mercury opposite the moon, look at some of the conversations maybe in your relationships that you've been putting off that you really need to have because they feel uncomfortable. This is the time to have those conversations. It may also be the conversation with yourself that needs to change and transform if you've been kind of putting yourself down, right, or beating yourself up. It's like the conversations we have with ourselves, the thoughts we entertain, they determine our energy, which is our point of attraction. They determine what we're calling in. So this is a time to really transform that as well. If there's been like these old conversations, these old stories that have been on replay, and you're like, okay, it's time to switch this up so I can fully be in my power. All right, so let me check in here again. Rebecca, hello. Live for the now, love the now. Beautiful. Yeah, all our power converges in the now, right? Infinite possibilities in this moment for sure. You got feeling so much joy and gratitude. Love that. Okay, so say hi if you are just jumping on now. I'm going to scroll way down here. Say hi, share with me, what are you releasing and letting go of in these energies? Tara, when we accept and heal the shadow, it becomes an ally. Oh, I like that. How true is that? Yeah, it's like, because when there's like a part of us that we're not acknowledging, it's still there, right? Like if you think of the subconscious, it's still there. So it's still part of our energy, our vibration, our point of attraction. It's still behind the decisions that we're making. But if we're not aware of it, it's controlling us without our awareness, right? And that's when we have like these experiences we may attract and we're like, where did that come from? But as soon as we look at that side of things, when we really look at the subconscious, then we become aware, and then we fully step into our power, and then we're like conscious creators, right? We're aware of the energy that we are putting out into the world. So I love how you say that. Kimberly, this is amazing. I've been so crazy lately in a good way. Yeah, it's the energies, they're so intense. So this is another aspect I actually want to look at around this full moon. So we have Mars moving into the sign of Cancer. I believe it actually is moving in today. It's going to be moving into the sign of Cancer. So if you have been feeling like overwhelmed, scattered, like you're kind of pulled in all these different directions, Mars in Cancer will actually help bring you back. It'll slow things down a little bit. It'll slow it down because Mars is this masculine energy of drive. And Cancer also is very like motivated energy, but it's very much in the feminine. It's very much in like the intuition side of things. So we are going to feel the energy slow a little bit, and we're going to be able to connect more back to like our intuition, the divine feminine. And this is actually really key to look at and remember. And I've been feeling into this more and more lately. So the manifestation, when we're looking at anything we want to manifest in our life, of course there is an action component. Like in this physical reality, action is like a key component, right? Like we're physical beings, and that's the masculine energy. But just as important in the attraction process, if not even more so in the creative process, is the energy behind it. So it's not like you're not working toward your goals when you are relaxing, when you are recharging, because you're still emitting a vibration out into the world. And sometimes it's actually through like stepping back and relaxing and doing what you love that you create that space to receive, that what you desire comes to you. Like if you've ever had the experience of really wanting something, working hard toward it, and then suddenly you're like, okay, I just need a break, and you go to the beach for a day, and then suddenly you see things start to fall into place. It's like you already had the momentum there, you had put in the work, but in order for it to fully come to fruition, you had to take that step back and allow it to come into your life. So you almost had to like shift away from like that really forceful masculine energy and step back into the receiving, the surrender. So Mars in Cancer can really teach us to do that. It's like we are still creating, we are still manifesting when we're in that relaxed feminine energy. In fact, that's when we receive, that's when we can see the efforts of our hard work really paying off. So let me know if this is resonating or what's coming up for you around this. Let me see here. Yvonne, welcome. Jessica, hello, beautiful. So share with me below, what are you letting go of and releasing in this full moon energy? I say this every time I do these videos, but when you put it out into the universe, what you're calling in, what you're releasing, you gain power. So I also want to share too, I have a couple readings left for May. So if you've been wanting to book a private astrology reading, I do have some spots. So you can visit my website, spiritualgoddesses.com, or just message me and I can give you all the details on that. And if you're feeling like you're in need of some clarity, maybe you've been feeling a little bit overwhelmed, or you just know, like, I'm going through transformation and I want to know how to harness this energy, readings can really help you, because we'll take a look at your personal astrology and how all these like huge changes happening in the cosmos are personally affecting you and how you can really harness that. So yes. And I also have a free gift on my site too, spiritualgoddesses.com. If you are into moon cycles and you want to learn how to like manifest by connecting to that lunar energy, that's available as well. Okay, so we talked about Mars in Cancer. I'm just going to look at this chart because there's so many cool things happening here. So Venus, we're going to have Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, and prosperity, in the sign of Taurus, conjunct Uranus at the time of the full moon. So this is another relationship theme coming in where you can see transformation in your relationship, sudden unexpected changes in relationships. So, and this is not like, it's never right or wrong or good or bad, but I always say like when something kind of ends unexpectedly, even if it doesn't always feel that way, it's like trusting that the soul contract has been met. What you were meant to do at this time has been fulfilled. And as that fades away, right, or the dynamic of that relationship changes, it creates room for something new to come in. And this is also about getting really clear on the value system. Venus is right at home in Taurus, and this is another aspect that's really going to help ground you right now. If you're feeling like overwhelmed and scattered, right, it'll ground you. And going back to maybe some of the intentions around the new moon that you set in Taurus, looking at those and really looking at those core values. So as you're at this time of transformation, changes that you're making, maybe you're faced with decisions. We have Mercury really involved lately too. So you may be at a time where you're facing some big decisions in your life, or you're just not sure what decision to make. Always go back to, of course, trusting your intuition. You know what is best for you, but also looking at what decisions are in alignment with my core value system. If something's not a match to your values, in the long run, you won't feel happy about it. So make decisions that are a match to your core value system. Always go back to that. Hey, Natalie, how are you? Beautiful. Feeling the relationship thing? Yes. Oh my goodness, yes. Okay, so let's see what else here that I want to talk about that's happening in the charts. Yes. So the big thing with this energy too, with Scorpio, anytime the moon's in Scorpio, we do tend to feel things very strongly. It's one of those things that it will bring a lot of emotions up to the surface. So the best thing you can do, because for some of us, it's easier to step into the depth of emotion, maybe because we've just practiced it. Some people's energy in their chart, they're just used to more of the intensity and the going deep. Like if you have a lot of Scorpio energy, you're like, oh yeah, I know all about this. My life has been transformation. My life has been changed. My life has been looking at the shadow. For some of us, it's like, it's uncomfortable. I don't want to look at the emotions that are coming up, right? I just want to keep it fun. I want to keep it on the surface. But with the full moon in Scorpio, regardless of what's happening in your chart, at this time you are called to take a look at that. So don't push down what's coming up for you, because in the long run, it actually makes it more difficult. And I think as Tara pointed out, right, when we look at the shadow, it becomes an ally. So as you're willing to like feel through the emotions, to heal them, to transform them, you step more into your power, and you also realize how strong you are. So that's where it comes back to channel your inner goddess Kali, and remember the power you have to like cut through anything that stands in your way, anything that's not a match to pure love, and to rise up from the shadow into the light, right? It's like connecting to that inner phoenix within you and allowing it to fully emerge. And it does start with that decision to knowing that it's there. Okay, awesome stuff. All right, so I think I probably summed that up. And again, it's going to be, these are the main themes for all of us, and how it's individually unfolding in your life, that's really just going to depend on your birth chart as well, and where these changes are happening for you. That's actually one other thing I kind of want to touch on with the move of Mars into the sign of Cancer. And since Mars is what drives us, what motivates us, and now that it's going to be moving into a new place in your chart for all of us, it's like a new area of our life is going to come into the spotlight. And one of the areas in your life is going to calm down a little bit too. So just be very aware of like, okay, what is needing extra attention and energy right now in my life, because that is going to shift for all of us. And set those intentions. Remember, as you release, you create space to receive. Feel and integrate the emotions, fully look at the shadow and the beauty that it has to show you. And if you want to book a private reading, send me a message or visit spiritualgoddesses.com, and we'll dive deep into your chart and your astrology and see what's going on for you. So thank you for hanging out today. This was fun as always. You're welcome, Kenzel. And sending so much love and light to you all. Enjoy these energies, and I will see you soon. Bye.